Hello and welcome to the Blobber Checks Out Rise of Industry 2 demo. Welcome to Rise of Industry 2. We hope you will enjoy this demo. We suggest starting with a tutorial first. Then we have a demo scenario ready and waiting. Please wish list. Well, first thing, can I make you not full screen? Can I make you... I think it thinks my controller is plugged in and it's doing weird things. Why you would want to play this with a controller? So sorry about the didn't. Why you would want to play with this with a controller, I have no idea. Oh my god, it does. It has controller setting... Oh god. Oh, imagine playing some sort of building game with a controller. That, please. And maybe be a bit more sensible. Also not full screen. Alright. Now, credit where credit's due. Even if having control is a bit weird, a lot of demos do not give you control over full screen or not, so I get some credit there. I don't know, Mumbles. I don't know of a other one, but we're told to start with a tutorial. With the tutorial, we will start.
The last thing we need is somebody looking too closely at this thing. All right, I'll see you around.
Oh, and I should change my category.
Hi, I'm Frank Wilson, and I want to turn you into a captain of industry. If you're hungry and you're willing to learn, I can teach you how to build a bulletproof investment portfolio, taking in everything from agriculture to aviation. But before I bestow my wealth of industrial experience upon you, I got to be sure that you can handle yourself. So, welcome to Spoolsville. It's a little backwater burg where you can come to grips with the basics of business without causing too much damage to your reputation, or mine. So here's your assignment.
Oh, good
I want
lord.
to see if you can figure out how to build the facilities to
That
create
was frightening.
VHS tapes. Nothing too taxing. Once you've figured out the lay of the land, so to speak, we can take off the training wheels and start making some real money. You ready? Good. Then I'll see you on the other side.
Hello and welcome. It's me, Frankie. FMV included? It's a Morrigan game? I don't know about that. The board is very much into my business philosophy, as outlined by my Frankie Says business tapes. They've hired me to help you get started here at Initial Logistics Incorporated. They do really punch hard on their, like, 80s self-help video theme, though. Welcome to the company. I hope you're taking notes. Don't worry if you're not. Like my informational tapes, you can always come back and revisit these at any time. There's going to be a whole new series of Frankie Says business info tapes. It's going to be huge. Only problem, we need a ton of cassette tapes to get them to my adoring fans. That's where you will help. To get to our goal of making cassettes, we have to set up plastic production in the region. So, I'm going to walk you through the process of going from drilling oil to making plastic to manufacturing cassette tapes. Ready? First, we need to acquire raw materials for plastic. We could buy them from someone else, but luckily for us, there's ample crude oil deposits on this very island. It will be cheaper and more profitable if we extract them ourselves. For some orientation, here is our regional headquarter complex. It contains a number of buildings, including a contract delivery depot, which we will be learning about later. If you do well, you can take my corner office once the contract is up. Let's get a bird's eye view. Move the camera around by clicking and dragging with your left mouse button. Or use WSAD. Want to get a closer into the action? Use X and Z. Oh god. That is... there's something I don't like about that tilt effect, but okay. You can also use Q and E to spin. Try it out, it's fun. Great, by the way, the right mouse button is used to cancel actions and close dialogues. I'll remind you about it later, once an opportunity arises to use it. For now, let's get going. Notice the nearby city of Spoolsville. Right now it's a sleepy little town, but it will grow along with us. It will provide us with a most important asset, human capital. Slave labor. To begin with, we must build a proper facility to extract oil from this deposit. For your convenience, I've enabled the deposit overlay in the overlays bar on the top right, which shows natural resources in the ground. If you want to do this yourself, it's in the top right. For oil extraction, we need a hydrocarbon extraction complex. A complex is a connected collection of buildings for a specific industry. You might build a hydrocarbon extraction complex to extract crude oil. Later, we will be building a media production complex to make the cassette tapes that I was talking about. To build a new complex, enter the Build menu on the top left corner of the screen. Click Start a New Building. I'm missing the very first step there. Enter the Build menu. Oh, bottom left, my bad. Let's start by building a hydrocarbon extraction complex. First, you'll be prompted to select its border, then to place the central office. You will only be able to place the complex buildings within the area of influence. So let's make sure... I don't like that you can't tilt to more of an overhead view. Let's make sure the area we select includes the crude oil deposit. Use the R and F keys. Okay, new complex, hydrocarbon extraction. Then it wants me to do it on that yellow square. You'll only be able to build within the square. So make sure the area we selected includes the crude oil deposits. Build it. Over there. It feels like it wants me to do it there, but... Right, there's a highlighted yellow square, but it also isn't happy about me putting it on the highlighted yellow square. Okay, it absolutely demands you must rotate it before placing it for some reason. Whatever. Complexes and extraction. For workers to arrive at your new complex, your central office must connect to the local city via highway. This is also something you can build directly in the Build menu, found under the Storage and Transport section. Luckily for us, this region already has some convenient highways we can use without too much trouble. You'll also notice that your HQ complex is connected to the highway network. This connectivity is critical for our operations. Connect the hydrocarbon thing to the highway. Build highway in the specified locations in order to connect it to the highway network. Here. Highway. There? Maybe they're meant to be highlighted squares that don't quite feel finished? Like, these two squares don't feel finished. That feels like a finished square because it looks like the highway. But these two do not. And anyway, it says that I've done it. It's done a little tick box, so... Weirdly non-normal squares or not, it seems to be happy. Until now, the game has been paused, but in order for your building to construct, we need to let some time pass. To change the speed of the game, press the buttons in the top left near the date. Or press 1, 2, or 3. You can also use spacebar to pause... Oh yes, EU4 style. Wait for it to finish construction. So speed it up. Also, it looks like you guys can have some more volume, so I'll dump that volume up. Now that our central office is done, we can work on the buildings that will actually extract, store, and transport the crude oil. Complexes are composed of specialized buildings that share access to storage, utilities, and transport bays. In this hydrocarbon extraction complex, build an oil well to extract crude oil. To edit the complex, enter the build menu or use control while clicking on the object. Okay, so close that and then control click U. Did it do anything? Yes, it opened this menu. Okay, you will find the oil well within the complex facilities in the build menu. Yes. Use the R and F keys to rotate it before you place it. Okay, but where do you want it, friend? Because this feels like another, you want it in a set place, but you haven't... Oh, that's what it wants. In order for a complex's buildings to operate, they need to be connected to the central office by access roads. We can't exactly expect our workers to trudge through fields or forests to get to their jobs, can we? Let's build an access road. Highways connect complexes and each other... No, to each other and the rest of the world. Access roads connect buildings inside of a complex to each other and must be hooked up to the complex's central office to function. Build an access road in the indicated locations to connect the oil well to the local access road network. Okay. Okay, now it's happy, question mark? Our hydrocarbon extraction complex can't work without access to electricity. So next we'll need to build a power line connector to supply power. Utility connector buildings can be found in the distribution section of the build menu. Build a power line connector in the specified location. Distribution. Power line connector. I really wish you could tilt up more. I don't want to be viewing things from this low angle. I want bird's eye view so that I can place things more precisely. Now that the connector is placed, we need to attach it to the rest of the complex. Yeah. So as usual, build a road to it. Build a road to everything, always build a bloody road. Nest SimCity is confirmed the better game. At least until Bowser attacks us here, yes. Finally, let's attach that connector to the local electricity network. Look at your headquarter complex to see how it is set up and connected with power lines. Do the same to your new complex from the distribution center. So you're saying that here goes to here, goes to... No, I don't understand. That guidance is insufficient, game. Oh well, let's just skip the supposedly infer what we're supposed to know by looking at this step, because I don't get that. Build power lines in the specified location in order to connect to the power line connector. You see, it feels like this should be telling me instead, make a connection between the world power line and the power line connector we just made, rather than look over here and supposedly infer that understanding. Okay. We also need access to water. We'll need a water pipe connector connected with water pipes as well. Build a water pipe connector in the specified location. Build access road in the specified locations in order to connect the water pipe connector. Okay, so build one, connect it to the road, and this time also connect it to the... They're adding the number of steps they want us to do at once all at once, but fine. So you say now add this. I probably have to spin it because you're obsessed with spinning things. Then you want pipes between the pipe and you. Sure thing. And then you want road between it and the existing road network for this. Done. Topic 2. Complexes and extraction. With utilities taken care of, Oil Well can finally start drilling. Only one problem. Where do we put all the oil? We can't leave it lying around. If we want to use it or move it, we're also going to need to build storage tanks to safely put away all the valuable crude oil. Tanks are in the storage and transport section of the build menu. Okay. Build it where they yellow highlight. Spin it around because they're obsessed with making sure we know how to use the rotate command. That looks good, but now that I think about it, all the space near the road is going to be prime real estate once we start shipping things out. So maybe we should put the storage somewhere else. Luckily, since the building is under construction, we'll get a full refund when we delete it. To delete something, focus on it, and then click the red delete button. Okay. Now all we have to do is put them somewhere more appropriate. How about over here? There's plenty of space there. Sure. So it was storage, tank. Hide it in the corner to make you happy. We'll eventually need to get crude oil out of the complex. If we... What? We'll eventually need to get crude oil out of this complex if we to work with it. Okay, so there's... Make sure to check all your writing that you haven't any words out. That you haven't left any words out. But okay. We'll have to build a tanker loading facility before going any further. Build a tanker loading facility in the specified location. Build an access road for the new tanker loading facility. Build a highway to the specified location in order to connect it to the highway. Really? Oh, it doesn't use the other road. The tanker uses its own separate road thing. Okay. I should maybe move up, so just let me move myself up out of the way, out of the little text help boxes. Come on, let me grab me. There we go. Let's wait for everything in the hydrocarbon extraction complex to finish building before we continue. You can right-click or hit escape to exit construction mode if you want to look around while we're waiting. So unpause. Continue to be annoyed at the lack of a sufficiently overhead view. Everything is finished. Now we're good to go. If you click the oil well, you can now see that it is producing crude oil daily. Clicking on the storage tanks, you can also see that the crude oil is being stored, ready to use or sell. Daily production, 5 barrels. Uses 300 kilowatts and 1,000? Is it mega? Is that megaliters? No, it's kilo. 1,000 kiloliters. Storage tanks. 6% full. Okay. Topic 3, contracts. I bet you're raring to go on plastic, aren't you? Well, not so fast. Now that we're paying folks to work our complex, we're practically bleeding money. If only there was something lying around we could sell. Wink, wink. I know, all the crude oil will do nicely. Before we start turning any of it into plastic, you can get a jump start on profitability by selling the crude oil. The main way we buy and sell things in Riders of Industry 2 is via contracts. These are long-term agreements with other companies to regularly sell or buy materials. Let's get started. Let's maybe turn the game speed down if it complains we're bleeding money. Let's get started on trying to start a contract to sell crude oil. Let's inspect the contracts user interface by clicking the contracts highlighted in the button in the bottom left row of buttons. Okay. You can start a new negotiation by clicking on the New Negotiation button. It doesn't think I opened the contract, but I did? Maybe I need to do that? Okay, so this lies about what it wanted me to do here. It actually wanted me to do 2 more things before this was considered. Like, it said do step 1 as this little hover box, and I did step 1, and then I was like, why isn't it registering? Because what it actually wanted me to do is do step 3. Contracts, Part 3. Negotiating a contract is simple. First, you select the resource you're interested in, and then whether you want to buy or sell it. Okay. But there's... oh no, here we go. Crude oil. Then, select a company to partner with for this new contract. After that, you should select the exact scale in numbers of the contract. Finally, we choose the delivery point from the drop-down, and finish it off by confirming the details of this soon-to-be contract. 30 barrels every 70 days? Can I change it? Apparently not. Okay, this is almost going to use as much as we make. Begin negotiating a contract to sell crude oil. Have I not done this? Again, this is lying. Now your Vice President of Sales is off negotiating. This will take about a day. When the negotiations are complete, you will receive a notification in your notification bar near the clock at the top left, inviting you to look over it one final time before accepting final terms. Make sure the game is unpaused and it will be ready tomorrow. I think it wants us to actually do it. Yeah, so this keeps lying. It's kind of poor that their tutorial lies so much to you about what it wants you to do, but oh well. Excellent, we've got a deal. They'll only pick up crude oil at the contract delivery depot at our headquarters, and all our crude oil is currently marooned at our hydrocarbon extraction complex. We'll need to get the crude oil over to our headquarters before the first pickup. Well, then let's pause. One of the ways we can do that is via deliveries. Deliveries move a resource from one complex to another, so long as there are appropriate loading facilities at both locations. We already built a tanker loading facility at our hydrocarbon extract complex. With our loading all set up, we can set up a crude oil delivery from it to our headquarters. You create a new delivery from the Deliveries Manager, accessible from the highlighted button at the bottom left. For now, let's deliver 5 per day. Okay, from there to our headquarters. This will cost us 20 per day on trucks. Sure. Incredible. With the oil flowing into our headquarters and our contract set, all we have to do is wait for the money to start rolling in. You can check contract events and other upcoming events in the calendar below the date and speed. This thing? So speed up. Scheduled pickup unsuccessful. But we're not selling it. Ay, ay, ay. Is it actually selling it? Okay, that time it looks like it actually happened. No. Scheduled pickup unsuccessful. Why? It says that there are 14 barrels here. 15? Okay, so it just looks like we're not quite getting enough across. How we're failing to get enough across when it's literally crossing the road is a bit concerning. And it's not for want of crude oil stored in the storage tanks. Oh well. Putting it all together, plastic production is a little more complicated than oil extraction. So we should make sure you've got a great plan in place before we start breaking ground on a new complex. There's a really handy tool for that, called the Production Manual, accessible in the top right corner of the HUD. I selected to move 1 a day? Ah. Okay. And now is it going to meet the... I've gotten you to break your over 1 year silence. No messages spoken for all of the hundreds of hours watched. This still seems bad because we're losing a lot more money than we make, but whatever. There's a really handy tool for that. It's called the Production Manual, accessible in the top right corner. Now let's take a look at it. Here you can review every available resource, technology, building, and complex. I think you'll find it to be a great tool for planning production. How about a tour? There are 4 tabs. On the left, you'll see all the options for the current tab. Don't get nervous. I know it's a lot of stuff, but I'm sure you can handle it. Here is all the basic information on what is currently selected to the left. In the details section, you'll see a couple of extra data points, as well as a list of related buildings, resource technologies, and complexes. And lots of good info over here. For resources, where they're made, found, or extracted. For buildings, inputs and outputs. For complexes, buildings that can be constructed within. For technology, items that are enabled when researched. Make sure that you are back on the resources page. Check. And then the entry for plastics. Okay. Done. Plastics is made in a few ways, but there's only one of these that we care about at the moment. Follow that lead by clicking on the highlighted building. In the daily production section, to look at what it'll take for us to make plastic in our facility. Looks like we'll have to start by placing a plastic production complex, but we don't have the necessary tech to build one yet. Let's navigate to that page now. Open the Plastic Fractional Crude Oil page in the production manual. Once you're on your own, you'll be doing your own R&D, but I'll arrange for the technologies while you're working here in Spoolsville. This page is for the Plastic Fractionation Crude Oil. Yeah. Looks like we have a plan. Let's leave the production manual for now. Okay, so this is normally how you'd research tech, but he does it magically because it's the tutorial. Sure. As we saw in the manual, we're going to need 10 barrels of crude oil per day. But we don't make that much with our current setup. We're going to have to upgrade our scale of supply. We should build another oil well or 2. Produce 15 of them per day. Currently, we produce 5. So... build more oil wells? And then give them basic road. Done. Now, if you open the build menu, you'll notice that in addition to the hydrocarbons extraction complex, there is a plastic production complex. No, there isn't. Oh, you mean a whole new thing, not a thing within this thing. Okay. Get a plastic production complex up and rolling. I'll check back once I start seeing the results. Must be placed in the indicated area. Where? Ah, there's a faintly visible yellow box. Sure. Okay. Making plastic. Build. Industrial storage warehouse. Storage tanks. Tanker loading facility. Power line connector. Power line. Water pump thingy. Okay, do all the things you did last time again. Sure. But where is the nearest power line now? The nearest power line seems light years away. Oh well, let's try. So... really wish this was an overhead view. Words cannot express how much I wish this was an overhead view. Okay, build power line connection. I need you to have a road, friend. Check. Really, really, really wish there was a top down. Let me more zoom out angle tilt. But whatever. Water one, so it was you. Water connector thingamajig. Then why won't we... Sure, like that then. At least it's polite enough to let you run power lines and water along the same grid set. There, connect to our other water thing. Give that an access road. Okay, check. Build storage tanks. Well, last time we were told to put them on the corner. So, okay. You wish it could be below ground? I mean, as long as you can build them along the line that's already occupied by power lines, I guess you just consider them all in one. Check. Industrial storage warehouse. Okay. I don't know why it will work out which way it wants. Is that meant to be connecting to this? Maybe. Plastic fractional tower crude oil. Okay, and this can go anywhere? Yes. Oh, shove it there. Start a crude oil delivery from the hydrocarbon complex to the plastic thingamajig. Sure. So, here. Add crude oil, check. From the other place to here. No, it says. It needs a tanker loading facility. Okay. Then they could probably have built that into this list, but whatever. Okay, let that build and then try again. Okay, produce 4 drums of plastic per day. I don't know how much. We've got 10 spare, so let's just deliver all 10. You still complain you have no road. Fair enough. Look at you. You're practically a mogul all on your own. Now we have plastics. We're within touching distance of our cassette tape dreams. For that, we'll need to start a media production complex and a cassette tape factory within the complex. Looking at the production manual, it looks like that's going to take paper. And we can't make paper here. We don't have the wood processing chops to do so. It looks like you're going to need to buy some. I'm going to let you loose again. Go ahead and find a contract to buy paper, and then get started on making cassette tapes. I'll check back in when I can tell they're ready to launch. The order of this seems arse backwards. Surely you make the place that accepts the paper before you make the contract to accept the paper, but whatever. Okay, place media production complex. Am I allowed to put it anywhere this time? Yes. I built that the wrong way around. That is very possibly going to entirely screw over this facility. No. But now how do now how do I rebuild the most basic thing? Maybe that deleted the whole zone? Yes, it deleted the whole zone. Okay. And then this needs, like everything else, it needs water. Ooh, it's smartly connected. It needs power. Produce 4 boxes of cassette tapes per day. It probably needs this. And I've screwed myself. Only mostly. That'll do. Ridiculous that wouldn't let us put the highway between there and there, but whatever. We did that. We did this. We did that. Probably want that as well. Once again, I'll reiterate how much I hate that it doesn't let you have a overhead zoom. Okay. Camera factory, no. Film production thing. Maybe? Compact disc cassette factory, there we go. Vinyl record press. Needs input plastic. Okay, add a delivery. Fully produced plastic. From our plastic place. No, from our headquarters, maybe. to media production land. It lacks an industrial loading facility. I don't think it does. I thought I told that to build. Maybe I need to wait for more time for it to finish building? No, road access is limited. Okay. Does that make you happier about the access road? Yes. Now can we make that delivery set? This cassette tape, consumer goods loading dock. What was it complaining I didn't have? Industrial loading facility. Alright. This thing. But you must have this thing. Fine. Seems a little ridiculous, but whatever. Wait for that to make. It doesn't appear to be making. Road connection needed. It says, as it literally connects to the road. Did you want that to connect to this kind of road, not the other kind of road? And if so, from where? From there? You know what? Let's just erase you. You don't seem to be working. Let's try again. Why won't it let me do this? I can't do this from here to here because you need an industrial loading facility. So here, industrial loading facility. Must have this thing. So we do this thing. No, but they seem to have weird collision issues, right? Because I built that kind of road connection here to there when it was back here, and it just wasn't working. I don't think they want you to have the road types adjacent to each other, else it causes it problems. Having the highway road type next to the internal road type seems to make it have a hissy fit. But whatever, that's built, then we can build the other one. Like, sometimes it does nice, like here, where it auto-connected the roads between things. That's lovely quality of life. Now can I move stuff? No, that's a consumer goods delivery one. I needed this one, which is largely the same. Sure, whatever. There. Now can I do the delivery? You mentioned Arcomage? I love Arcomage. Arcomage is fantastic. It does not do a good job of tutorializing itself. I'll give you that. The AI is rigged? No, the AI isn't rigged, but it's hugely RNG as to what's in your opening hand. Plastic. Between there and here. Yes. Move. I have no idea how many, but we have 10 spare, so we will do 10. Okay. Failing for want of plastic, but plastic should be being delivered. Maybe I don't have plastic storage? Video game cartridges. Where was it for the other one? It was in storage and transport. Well, there is no plastic tank like there was for this. As you work towards making cassettes, you will need to deliver plastic to your new complex. You may need to expand the loading facilities in your plastics production complex to meet this objective. So it wants me to build the expanded thingamajig? But it's not available in the demo. Maybe they mean I need 2 of these to supply enough input capacity for plastic? But neither of these are using their full output thing. No, I have not, Chaotic Good. Can't say I have. I don't know what it wants. Well, this might be the end of this, because it seems like even the tutorial is full of lying tooltips and lying little, this is the thing you should do, and then just doesn't work. If I delete my plastic deliveries and I add it again, maybe it will be happy. Maybe it's because we don't have a plastic out from the plastic plant to here? So maybe I need to go plastic. Complex needs an industrial loading facility in order to be able to load or unload this resource, okay? You, here. Industrial load facility. I'm not doing it for this one. I'm doing it for this one. Game. Let that build. Now, tell it to yoink plastic from here to here. Yes. 10. Is it doing anything? It provides no feedback. Looks like our drums of plastic are moving out, because this is going down. And we told it to move 10, but we only make 4, so that makes sense. But then they should be making it over here. Yeah, okay. They're making it to that. And then they should be making it to you to here. Now it wants paper. Okay. Then we say here, add delivery of paper between you and you. How many? I don't know. So I should actually go check what my contract says. My contract says 12 every 6, so that's 2 a day. Okay. Paper in storage. Is it now making its way here? Yes. Okay, this is now working. Check. Start a contract to sell the finalized cassette tapes. How much do I make a day? I only make 4 a day. So that wants more than I can make. But whatever, we'll pretend that we make the right amount. Even though we don't. Congratulations, you've done it. You're done with the tutorial training program. I can award you the Certificate of Completion with all rights, honors, and privileges associated therein. I've always wanted to say that. There's a whole lot more out there that can trip you up. Factory fires, utility contracts, regulators, but now that you have the basics down, I'm sure you'll be able to weather any storm. And besides, if you ever have a specific question that wasn't covered in this tutorial, You can always make sure to check out Frankie's tips in the top right row of buttons. I'm always there to lend a hand. Oh my. That seems a whole lot less to have anything to do with actually pioneering industry as much as it is just good flow management. It is manage the output and flow of goods from little boxes that each produce to each other little box that consumes. Like, you generate a little square of ground. That square of ground will shove a whole lot of buildings in to produce resources of an associated group. And then you delineate connections to other little resource boxes that will absorb those to produce other things, and so on and so on and so on. I did not particularly like that. It seems incredibly tedious to every time have to re-add a water connection, re-add a power connection, re-add roads to every specific thing. I did not enjoy that. I did not like the way that you have to view it at the really low inclined angle, so you can't plan out the layout of the whole facility terribly well. I think it should have a top-down view availability. The tutorial had a number of issues where it literally wanted us to do 3 things, and the thing was currently telling us to do the first one, and until you'd done the third one, it wouldn't tick box that you've done the first one. It seems to have a whole lot of issues and things that I do not like about it. So, I'm absolutely not going to be playing more of that, thank you. Certainly not for now. Bleh.